Greetings and salutations. Welcome to episode 109 of Twisted Strands. Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm doing. Today's drink is, well, water with ice that's melted already. Okay, folks? I'm a little bit sick. I've got a little issue. So it's back to plain water. Boo. And naturally I'm back in my clusterfucked room, and life is back to normal, a little bit cluttered, but having a good time of it. My name is JD, and I almost forgot to tell you. Thank you for joining me tonight, or in the morning, or whatever. I'm so glad you clicked play. Thank you so much for watching. And I wanted to thank everybody who followed me from iTunes and Blip and all that fancy dancy free setup I had to YouTube, because now YouTube is it. And thank you so much for joining me here and subscribing, which you can very easily do on. There's a little button that you can subscribe to my feed. Sometimes you'll see things I like or something like that, like some kid getting a pony for Christmas. I love stories like that, and I'm mushy like that. So anyway, let's see, anything else? Oh, I am so jealous of all the fun things I've heard about happening at SSK that I'm going to try and make an effort to save up my money and enter the lottery like everybody else and see if I can join you next year. So fingers crossed that I can do that. Otherwise, event-wise, I'm going to be at the New Jersey Garden Sheep and Wool, and I shall be at Rhinebeck again because I can't miss Rhinebeck. I love that show. And a lot of my favorite people are at both, so it's going to be cool. A nice, cool fall. Can't you just feel the autumn breeze going through the house and all that, and it'll be so nice and cool, and no blinding sun, and no bugs. It'll be so nice. Just a little while now. The autumn is coming. But for now, there's air conditioning. Anyway, let's see. Before I bore you, I've got no new yarns this week. I haven't been spinning. And let's see. My work's in progress. Now, I'm still working on the Skull Shawl by Kungan Okmaskis. I'm murdering that name and I know it, but she doesn't have a Ravelry name or anything else. So I do what I can. It's in my projects on my page under JD. And I'm also working on the textured acorn beanie. And this is kind of pathetic because I haven't worked on it recently. I'm mainly hoping to just get some more stitch markers around so I can keep track of my pattern. So let me just... Oh, and this is by Wheezy Works. And she has done a few things, and that is my A Good Day for a Cupcake Sheepy. Oh, good, you can see everything. And the wool is a mystery. The person I swapped with said it was more than likely a Lion brand wool. And it did seem to be a DK weight. So I'm just using the exact needles she recommended and the exact wool, and it doesn't matter to me who fits it, as I'm going to give it to Emily's Hats for Hope, and that is my favorite hat charity of the moment. If you have a favorite hat charity, let me know. I'm always open to making hats. As you remember, I decided to make 13 hats this year, and I've got 2 on the needles, and I want to finish that one this week. So that's one thing. Yeah, the skull shawl, the hat. I've also still got my Don't Cage Me In by Heather Kin. Sorry, Boutros babe. Highland Handmaids is her company, and yeah, Heather Kin. I keep putting them on the back burner, and I'm sorry for that. And it's beautiful socks. I'm just slow at knitting more complicated things when all I want is easy peasy. Speaking of easy peasy, I've got a finished object to show you. I am silly and I forgot to bring out my damn sock blockers, but I promised myself I would finish these, and I did. They mostly fit. They're a little bit snug. I should have really just knit and pattern until they were 8 inches long from the back of the heel. What can I say? I'm a rebel. I knit until 7 because it said 2.5 inches from your desired length. So, but anyway, little cock-ups, some tangles. I messed up on the pattern, of course. Who the hell doesn't? But you know what? It was very easy to remember the pattern, which is exactly what I was hoping for, and it's pretty. And now I've got the perfect pair of summer socks. I've only worn them to show off. I haven't worn them out at all yet. And this wasn't even a Kitchener toe. This was a toe that you just knit it until you're until you only have like 8 stitches. Got 8 inches on the mind. You just knit until you have a particular number of stitches, and then you decrease. And then you thread the yarn through the remaining stitches and tighten it. And so this is Cascade Fixation. I do recommend it. It's kind of fun to knit with. It's very stretchy yarn. Should look more stretchy than that, but it's very stretchy indeed. And the colors are really fun. I got a little bit of striping on the heel, which is really keen. Any changes I would make, I probably would have given it an actual leg instead of just the cuff, but I wanted to do the pattern as written, so that's what I did. And I do have 2 tiny little balls of fixation left. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Maybe do a hat or something, I don't know. It's nice cotton yarn with some elastic in it, and yeah, it's cool stuff. I recommend it for summer socks, or socks for people that they can't tolerate wool. It's good for that too. And it's cheap. It's only $7.50 a ball at an expensive yarn shop. Probably cheaper elsewhere. I don't know. I didn't check. I was all vacation project, and I'm just glad I finished it within 2 weeks, which is amazing for me and socks. And it was fun, so I recommend that. It's in the creative knitting issue. And let's see. Oh, it's by... I have my notes. I actually have notes to put on the blog. Kate Atherley. That's who designed these cute socks, and it's in the summer 2013 of creative knitting. And this is proof that I should have done it in a solid color. But I just didn't love the solid colors, okay? Come on. Give me a break. So that's my finished object. that's it. Yeah, for the rest of the month, I'm going to concentrate on my skull shawl. I haven't made progress on it in a few weeks, but I will. And that hat. It's a test knit for Wheezy Works, who is a super sweet person. So I shall finish that test knit for her as soon as I can. I will get to it tonight if I can. Let's see what else. I don't have much. Sorry. When I focus on a project, I do finish it, but then everything else goes to the wayside. What can I say? Let's go on to stuff and junk, shall we? Not that I haven't babbled enough in the beginning of the show for you, but let's see what else. Oh, I've been watching the usual, more of the same old, but I've returned to my beloved Doctor Who watching. And I've watched it up to, but not including, the Don't Blink episode. And I flirt about that situation, and I'm like, oh my god, should I just watch it? Because I was thinking if I watch it and it's like as awesome and scary as everybody says, will it just make everything else sound boring? But then I thought, that seems kind of a silly thing to think about Doctor Who. It's not just Don't Blink. It's not just the horrible, teary, feely, sad Rose bye-bye thing. Sorry if that's a spoiler. But yeah, yeah, it's not just one episode, it's the entire series that makes it special. I probably won't get to it tonight, but I will probably get to it this week and soon. And let's see what else. Oh, Soylent Green. Jeez, I've had this Netflix disc for ages, and I still haven't watched it. That's what Netflix is good for, the instant view and the DVDs. I know a lot of people have just the instant view, and it's so worth it, but I started out with the DVDs, and I'm sticking to it because you can't see the whole library they've got with just instant view, and that's sad and disappointing. So anyway, there that is. Oh, and don't forget, I think on Saturday or Sunday, which is the 27th or 28th, yeah, Saturday is the 27th, this weekend, yeah, I'm gonna date this episode, this weekend is the Shark Marathon. I missed watching Sharknado, and I regret it wholeheartedly, because I've heard it's an epically bad, silly movie, and we all know how much I love those. So I'm going to try and record that marathon, or at least Sharknado, can't miss it, and then I'll be able to report back on that next week. Yeah, so that's stuff I'm watching. Stuff I'm reading, I've been just reading a lot about Cape May, where we were last week, and it was, I just love historical places, historical venues to visit, and I've been reading more, and I got a little haunted house book, and I'm reading literature about Cape May, and that's about that. I have not been keeping up on my reading. I'm a bad girl. Knitting magazines. I just love reading knitting magazines. Knitting patterns. I'm just like Dumbledore. I love to read knitting patterns. And this is the latest issue, that's in the US anyway, of Simply Knitting. It is 109. The gift is yet another damn baby booklet. I'm not sure who's going to get it, if it's in my knitting group or whichever one. I don't know. I found the typo pretty funny. Alan Dart's Owl and the Pussycat. Doesn't quite look like a pussycat. Looks like a koala. dressed like Steve Irwin. So anyway, let's see, what do I like about this issue? Well, I must admit, love the reader stuff, but I was not enamored of most of the knitting patterns. I was just blah blah. This one's knit in size 1 yarn. A drapey, huge cardigan knit in sock weight yarn. Never gonna do that. I don't care how good the colors or the drape are, that would never happen with me. And so, cute little things people have made. This is kind of pretty. That's not it. This is it. That's kind of nice. It's a chevron stitch tunic or dress. They call that a vest. It goes down to her butt. That's a little long. Anyway, so top tips from knitting designers. Learn to love sewing up your blah 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 blah. Debbie Bliss said, learn to love sewing up. Your knits deserve a neat, professional looking finish, and I agree with her. And another bit of service advice from Lauren O'Farrell. If you make a mistake, don't panic. Remember, you can always put a button over it. Oh, and never leave your yarn on the platform and then get on a train. So anyway, I'm not going to read them all because, heck, get the magazine if you love it. Oh, for my eyes only, I'll show it to you. It's a subscriber pattern. Kind of nice, but not something I'd run out and get. Now, this is the piece I really want to make. My beach bag is getting a little frayed. I love it still, but it's a little bit not good looking. I really want to make this for next year. Isn't that adorable? It's knit in DK weight. I think I have some white that can do that, but I'll need to find some blue. I just think it's so pretty. But I just need to find some good DK, either acrylic or cotton. I don't care. It's just going to go into the wash, but that is my prize. Not the ads. That's my prize for this issue. That's the thing I love about this particular issue. There is another bunch of cuteness. One pattern, 3 looks. Totally cute little cacti. I can totally see myself making one of these at least. Maybe even all 3, I don't know. But making them for my desk at work. Wouldn't that be adorable? I think so. So I really like those. Those are adorable. And shop of the month, stitches of the month are these funky cables, which I cannot find for the life of me. Oh, and there's a fugly phone cover. I'm not really fond of how this one looks. I don't know why. It's cute. It's clever. But for some reason, after I looked at it, I said, kind of ugly. I don't know why. Oh, their summer library is some really fascinating and pretty cables. See that? I really like the double twist one, which is this one right here. Not sure what I would use it in, but pretty nonetheless. Oh, 6 gifts for girls is just 6 hair bits, which are good for gifts, I think. I might make a few for the little girls in my life, of which there is one. Little Megan might be getting some knit gifts again this year, and she's always thankful for a young lady. She's only about 8 or 9. She's a beautiful, sweet little girl. She's my baby cousin. Yeah, she's my cousin's daughter, and I always mess up what tier of family they're in. Okay, let's see what else I've got for you. Don't forget the crochet along we are doing with the skull shawl. I am about a third or halfway done with mine, so keep on hooking. It is until the end of July or August, depending on how slow I am. And my gift to the people who managed to finish it is going to be some gorgeous Llama Romney minks. That is a sport weight, about 200 yards, give or take. So that's my gift. I don't know what Amanda, I think it's Amanda. I'm sorry. I don't know what Amanda from Chaotic and Crafty is doing as a drawing prize, but be sure to catch her podcast on Chaotic and Crafty, okay? And let's see. A couple of thank yous. Yes, I wanted to thank Miss Robin. She left a donation. You can donate to my podcasting efforts and prize mailings and all that by clicking on the donate button that is found on the blog at twistedstrands with an extra s.blogspot.com. And also, I wanted to say thank you so much for the copy of your pattern to Tiny Geek Crafter, also known as Rachel. She's a lovely, sweet young lady with a lot of lovely, cute animals. And her podcast is called Knit Me Happy, right? Yes, Knit Me Happy. She's super sweet, and the pattern she gifted me is called Black. I am just full of spelling errors in my mind. Ugh. Boy, forgive me. Anyway, it's the Black Mamba. I think that's a snake. But anyway, her version is a pretty length of knitting with beads in it that you can make a necklace or bracelet out of. So be sure to check that out. And that's it. Thank you to Robin and Rachel. Thank you so much. And that's it. Let me give you my contact info. And you can find me now under my YouTube name, which is JADEEDOLL on YouTube. That's where I broadcast now. And you can subscribe to me via YouTube. Free account, naturally, or else I wouldn't be there. And then I have a blog for the podcast, which is, as I said before, Twisted Strands with an extra s.blogspot.com. My name on Ravelry is JD, and that is JADEE, and that's how it's spelled everywhere, all across the board. So anyway, we have a group. Please join us. We're about 420 some odd members. Thank you for joining me. And you can always hear the latest news on what I'm doing. And that's where you can participate in the crochet along and the 13 hats for 2013. And I am JD666 on Plurk, Pinterest, Twitter, and Tumblr, but don't look for me too much on Tumblr because I only did it to keep abreast of what National Geographic has in its photography, because I love their photography. And let's see what else. Oh, email. You can email me anytime at jdalt@gmail.com. And if you're looking for more to watch, because I only podcast once a week, you can go to Knitting Podcast blogspot.com. Great place to find news and other podcasts just like mine, or even better. Now, I wanted to say a brief congratulations to the Prince and Duchess on the birth of their baby boy. That was today or yesterday? Something. Anyway, yes, congratulations to them. I am far more interested. Oh my god, what the hell was that? Ew! Bug. Must kill it with fire. Sorry. Squirrel! I'm far more interested in how Karen of Round the Twist is doing with her pregnancy. Thank you very much. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for joining me. And that's all for today. And, my parting words, as always, are when you're crafting, you're making the world a more beautiful place. And for that, I thank you. And have a good night.